Recounting Israel's journey. These are the journeys of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hands of Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded and stated points of their journeys at the commandment of the Lord. These are the journeys according to the starting points. They set out from Ramses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month on the day after the Passover. The children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of the Egyptians, because the Egyptians burned all their firstborn who the Lord had killed among them upon their gods. The Lord executed judgment. The children of Israel set out from Ramses and camped in Succoth. They set out from Succoth and camped in Ethan, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They set out, from Ethan and turned into Pi Hahiroth, which is before Baal Zephon, and they camped before Magod. They set out from Pi Hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and when 3 days journeyed in the wilderness of Ethan and camped in Marah. They set out from Marah to come to Elam, and in Elam were 12 fountains of water and 17 palm trees, and they camped there. They set out from Elam and camped by the Red Sea. They set out from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. When they set out from the wilderness of Sin and camped in Dophaka, they set out from Dophaka and came into Alush. They set out from Alush and camped in Rahimid, where there was no water for the people to drink. They set out from Rahimid and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. When they set out from the wilderness of Sinai, they camped in Kabroth Hawatava. They set out from Hawatava, camped in Hazeroth. They set out from Hazeroth and camped in Rithamath. They set out from Rithamath and camped in Rizmon Perez. They set out from Rizmon Perez and camped in Liban. They set out from Liban and camped in Risha. They set out from Risha and camped in Kelahath. They set out from Kelahath and camped in Mount Shepherd. They went from Mount Shepherd and camped in Harad. They set out from Harad and camped in Melakoth. They set out from Melakoth and camped in Tatha. They set out from Tatha and camped in Terah. They set out from Terah and camped in Makita. They went from Makita and camped in Hashmona. They set out from Hashmona and camped in Mazrah. They set out from Mazrah and camped in Binji Jaka. They set out from Binji Jakan and camped in Horag Hagadid. They set out from Horag Hagadid and camped in Jobahada. They set out from Jobahada, camped in Erebon. They set out from Erebon and camped in Izeron Girib. They set out from Izeron Girib and camped in the wilderness of Zin, which is Keshed. They set out from Keshed and camped in Mount Hor, at the edge of the land of Edom. Aaron and the priests went up into the mountain Hor, and the word of the Lord, and died in there. And 40 years after the children of Israel came out of the land of Egypt, and the first day of the fifth month, Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mountain Hor. King Adra and Kanati, who lived in the south of the land of Cana, heard the coming of the children of Israel. They set out from Mount Hor and camped in Zilamor. They set out from Zilamor and camped in Puno. They set out from Puno and camped in Obud. They set out from Obud and camped in Abri, on the border of Moba. They set out from Ambri and camped in Dibon Gad. They set out from Dibon Gad and camped in Alamon Dabati. They set out from Alamon Dabati and camped in the mountains of Abrim before Nebo. They set out from the mountains of Abrim and camped into the plains of Moba near Jordan of Jericho. They camped by Jordan from Beth Jeshimo and to Abel Shemitin into the plains of Moba.